Who of you has ever run 10 kilometers at a stretch? 10 Ks. Oh, cool. Who of you has ever run a half marathon, 21 kilometers? Okay. Is there someone here who has ever run a full marathon, 42 kilometers? Whoa. Is there someone in the audience who has ever run more than a marathon, more than 42 kilometers? Is there one? Wow. I think it's a good base for the next 55 minutes. And who of you has or is interested in a small challenge? A small challenge at the beginning, spontaneously? Oh. Not everybody. Don't worry. You are not have to run a marathon or an ultra marathon. I want to invite you to a really special journey. We are all in the room, want to go to the highest peaks in the Alps. We will travel together to one of the longest races of Great Britain. You will be part of a crazy race in Germany. That's really fantastic. And we all gonna dive in the dense jungle of Brazil. Sounds like a plan? You wanna join me? Yeah? You wanna join me? Hey, okay. It's after lunch, I know. It's getting better. And before we start our journey, I would like to invite you into my world to see that you get a little glimpse what I gonna do normally. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Please picture the following scenario. 5 degrees Celsius outside temperature. It's raining non-stop. You're surrounded by powerful, imposing mountains. An icy wind is blowing right in your face. You have 166 kilometers. A 9,400 meter difference of altitude ahead of you. Can you imagine that? By foot, not by car. by foot. Can you imagine that? I'm not sure. I will give you a little example. Who here is interested in soccer? Where are the soccer fans? A soccer field in a stadium has an average of 100 meters, right? I think everyone can picture that, right? 100 meters. So if you run one soccer field from one goal to the other goal, not one time, not 10 times, an unbelievable 1,660 times. 1,660 times from one goal to the other goal in the stadium. This corresponds to the 166 kilometers. And if you lined up 94 soccer fields in the air, this corresponds to the height of 9,400 meters. You will run through 3 different countries: France, Italy, Switzerland. 46 hours is the available time frame for that adventure. Imagine the next 2 nights you will not get any sleep. Can you imagine that? This happened to me. That was one of my toughest challenges. It's approx 10 years ago, the Ultra Trail du Mont Blanc. This is one of the longest and toughest ultra mountain races in the world. And when I first heard of this race, and especially when I saw the profile of that race, I initially felt sick, because look at that race. It's not a normal race like a city marathon. It's a race in the mountains. 10 long and difficult mountain passes are to be defeated. And as you can see, there are hardly any flat sections. The course is always going up and down, up and down. And just when you reach the top of a peak after 3, 4, or 5 hours of running uphill, you immediately have to start going down on the other side. It's a strange race. It's a technical race, like in the mountains. Small path high up in the mountains, like 3,500 meters altitude. And the best thing is running during the night. This picture here was, some people are laughing. This picture here was taken on the second night after more than 30 hours of non-stop running. I had never experienced anything like that before. I was running, and while running, my eyes would just start shutting. Really crazy, really extraordinary. But as hard this race is, I also have good news for you. What I accomplished on Mont Blanc, you can all do here as well. You can all do here as well. I noticed the initial reactions at the front. Now, some people might think that's starting out well, right? Is this guy crazy? 166 kilometers, 9,400 meter difference of altitude. Has he lost touch with reality? I can reassure you, you don't have to run around the Mont Blanc right away, but the same laws and principles of success apply when it comes to your own professional marathon here at Bosch. Your professional marathon at Bosch. Let us now be more specific. What is the main reason for success? When we're talking about success, especially when we're talking about personal success, what do you mean? What are the main reasons for success? Motivation? Discipline? Target? Lucky man. Yes? Passion. I think a really important word, passion. I think, and I can feel it from you, from the audience, there are different factors for success. There are a lot of different factors. But in my opinion, the two most important success factors are having a concrete goal or target and pursuing this goal with endurance and persistence. I'm always asked, how do you do that? Running through the mountains or through a desert? That's completely crazy. The simple answer is, for me, this race, this is 10 years ago, for me is still a rewarding, fascinating, and clear goal. What I learned from my sport is, starting with the goal is the base. Are there people here from the UK today? Yeah? From England? From London? Oh. Normally, like, I think there are 18 different nations today here. The hope was that maybe one person is here from England or from London, because my next adventure, we are going to the UK, we are going to England, we are going to London. And there are many ways to come to the English capital, right? You can use the plane, you can go ride a tunnel by train, and there have even been some people crazy enough, they have swum to the English mainland. Approx 9 years ago, I developed my own way of getting to London. First, I flew from Germany to Birmingham by plane, and then started running from Birmingham to London. I ran the Grand Union Canal Race, which is a total of 145 miles. That means approx 234 kilometers of non-stop running from Birmingham to London. The special thing about this race was, like you've seen the Mont Blanc range, the up and downs, but this race, you have the challenge, you have to go all the way from Birmingham to London by one single path. One single path over 234 kilometers. And believe me, if you run just one single path over 30 or 40 hours, you need basically 3 deciding factors to arrive the finish line. 3 factors. First, you have to be pretty stupid. Yeah, that's for sure. No, really, a bit stupid, a bit crazy. I think for me, it's something positive. Also in the business world, I guess, sometimes. Second, you need a certain amount of endurance. And third, you must see the finish line before you arrive it. You must see the finish line before you physically arrive it. That's what I learned, especially in that race in England. It's about your mental thing. It's a mindset, a question of mindset. 70 to 80% of such a race, like in Mont Blanc, like in England, 80%, it's a question of your mindset. You can be physically in top shape, but if you cannot imagine yourself running 106 kilometers, if you run from Birmingham to London, if you cannot imagine that, you won't make it. Your state of mind, your capacity for imagination is a base, a starting base for every project, for every adventure. Honestly, who of you came out of bed very easily this morning? Oh, very easily? Okay. Is there someone here who have some problems this morning to came out of bed? Who cannot make a decision this morning? It's did you know that it's really interesting? Did you know that the way we get out of bed in the morning is a good indication for our current level of motivation? Did you know that? What is motivation, by the way? It's a big word, motivation. What is motivation, by the way? Motivation is nothing more than saying, I want to. I want to. This is for me one of the best and shortest definitions of motivation. And I say those words to myself quite often, especially when I'm preparing for a big run. I said it before my speech, it's not always easy to just go out there and start running. Like the weather, like here at the moment, like in the winter season, it's so tough to, you have some plans to run for 2 hours for that session, but it's not always easy. Weather conditions, your own motivations, there's a illness in your family. Sometimes it's quite tough, it's quite hard, right? I think you know that. And that is really crucial, to have this unconditional desire, to absolutely identify with your goal and to have the right attitude. I'm really sure that some of you could easily run a marathon. There are a lot of marathon runners here, or even 50 or even 100 kilometers at a stretch. That's possible. It's not that difficult. The only requirement for that is you must want it with the same vehemence that I do. But honestly, most people do not want to. They don't want to run over a long distance because it's hard work. I think the question is, or in business, in extreme sports, in an IT project, the question is never, can we achieve something in our lives? Of course, we can. I guess the more important question is, do we want to achieve something in our lives? Example, the Ultra Trail Mont Blanc, this race in the mountains, 166 kilometers. I have done it 3 times, 2007, 2008, 2009. In 2009, I wanted to do the hat trick 3 times in a row. I was in this race in 2009. After 80 kilometers, after the half, I felt a strange pressure on my foot. A painful blister had formed. I think the runner among you know this problem. This can be very painful. Also, it's quite easy to fix, right? Pop the blister, stick on a tape, and then keep on running. The challenge for me was that at that time, I still had over 80 kilometers ahead of me. But you can see for yourself what happened to me in this race.
Was hast du, Norman?
Eine kleine Wasserblase.
Non, mais c'est parce que
C'est pareil. Ok. Ok.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien. Non, 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 parce qu'il y a une technique.
So, Norman, hast du einen neuen Fuß gekriegt?
Hallo. Ist weiterhin.
Was haben die gerade an den Fuß gemacht hier?
On a la chaussette comme ça.
Yeah, I was a bit tired at that point, but by then I had been on the road for more than 20 hours non-stop, and you need to know that completing this race, completing the Ultra Trail Mont Blanc was something I had already done twice in the past. You know that. So it was not a question of the ability to do that. it was not a question that I can do that. In the tent, it was only a matter of willpower and a matter of the right thoughts. What thoughts do you have in critical situations, in business, in a long project? Your motto is think, feel, act. That's wonderful. Because what thoughts do you have? The result is your feelings, what you have. And the consequence of your feelings is your action. What thoughts do you have? Not when everything is going fine, especially in critical situations. What do you do? It's a matter of your convictions, it's a matter of your thoughts. I've been running marathons and ultra marathons for almost 18 years now, and at the beginning of my running career, that's really interesting, you see and you meet always the same person, really. Being in Switzerland, in Australia, in the Ultra Trail Mont Blanc, you meet always the same person. One of these person is this guy here, Bernhard. I met him first 12, 13 years ago in Switzerland in a 100-mile race, and I was 22 at the beginning of my 20s, and he was already over 60. For me, as a young guy, it was really so far away, like my grandpa. I was there, and the interesting thing is, after the race, we start to talk to each other, and we talked about God and the whole world. The latest running shoes, the best running races. And at one point, I asked him a question. I asked him, how do you still manage to participate in a 100-mile race at your age? And he said to me a sentence I still have in mind. He said a sentence, I don't run 100 miles. I run 1 mile, 100 times.
Wenn man die
1 mile, 100 times. Bernhard stayed focused on each mile. And therefore he was able to run the whole distance. I said to myself, wow, that's great. I will do that too. And I started to transfer this knowledge to myself. And from then on, the idea to concentrate on just the next mile or the next checkpoint became popular with me. Not just because of food, but to keep me mentally focused. And this way of thinking helped me in another competition. We're leaving England. We're leaving the Mont Blanc range. We're coming to Germany. We're coming to a very special race in Germany. The so-called German Mount Everest Stairs Marathon.
Wenn man die 397 Stufen zum Radebeuler Spitzhaus 100 Mal hinauf und hinunter läuft, dann hat man den Mount Everest bewältigt. 42 Treppenläufer versuchten es, Zeitlimit 24 Stunden. Nach 2 Dritteln kämpften einige schon mit der Sauerstoffschuld, waren sprachlos.
Sorry, aber das geht zu langsam.
Entschuldigen Sie, dürfen wir Sie mal ganz kurz ansprechen und Sie fragen, warum Sie das hier tun? Tja.
I like this dialect, and the German Mount Everest Stairs Marathon, it's actually the largest stairs run in the world. It's not a normal marathon, it's actually a double marathon. That means 84 kilometers, but not on the ground. In Radebeul, that's a lovely town at the eastern part of Germany, exists this staircase. An unbelievable staircase with 397 steps. this staircase rises up very steeply with a difference of altitude of 88 meters. So, in this competition, you would have to go up and down this staircase a total of 100 times. 100 times. And this gives you exactly 8,848 meters. The same distance as going from sea level to the peak of Mount Everest. In this race, I had to go up and down staircase 40,000 steps up and 40,000 steps downhill. By comparison, to get a better understanding, Empire State Building, New York, I think there are a few people from US. I met this morning at breakfast from Chicago. Empire State Building, New York has barely 1,860 steps. In order to get the same number of steps as in Radebeul, you would have to go up and down the Empire State Building 21 times. 21 times. What did I learn from this race? What can you learn from this race for your world at Bosch? I learned that each step, each single step on the way to success is very, very crucial. And finally, this principle also applies to your world, right? The IT world. We must focus on just the next step, next customer, next presentation, next phone call, the next step. I guess the important question is whether during a marathon, a client meeting, or an important IT project, the important question is, where is my attention? Where is my focus? Where my focus is where my energy is. Are you interested for a little experiment? Who is interested in a little experiment? Oh. The best thing is, I need one brave man or a brave woman to come up to stage for this little experiment. Is there... Yeah? You want to go? Hey! I think that's applause. Wow. It's quite seldom. I just ask and then you already... Wow. Hi. You are?
Pavel Keller from Warsaw.
From Warsaw.
Yes.
Say again, please, your name.
Pavel Keller from Warsaw. Keller, like a cellar in Germany.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Can I say Pavel?
Pavel. Yes.
Pavel. It's okay for you.
It's very
Pavel.
It's very
Okay.
so.
Okay. You're just. It's like a home for you in the today.
Yes.
And you are looking like a sportsman.
Thank you very much, too.
May I ask? Oh, we have a microphone that I think everybody in the audience can
Hello.
hear you, can hear us. And Pavel, do you run, or what kind of sports you normally do?
I do different sports. The longest I ran was half marathon only, 1 hour 45, which I got to this point in 14 kilometers, 40, then a half minute, 40 minutes
Okay.
and 30 seconds. But despite that, I was karate champion twice of Poland. So,
Whoa.
right.
Whoa. Respect. Wow. And I think you do also, I think when I see
Yeah.
your body, you do something for your muscles as well, like
Yes.
gym or
Yes.
muscle training.
I've left karate and I doing CrossFit, a little bit on gym. I swim. Yeah.
I think you are the right man for today, for the experiment. Pavel, would you come to the other side, in the middle of the stage, that I think everybody can see us? Stay on the right carpet. I think it's good that everybody can see us. And it's nothing extreme, nothing difficult. What you need is a bit of your muscles, and what you need is your focus, your mind. Pavel, if you would like go in a position like that you have a strong grounding. That's most important. That you have
Strong stand, right?
a strong stand, strong grounding. That you feel really comfortable with the ground.
So it will be this way.
Yeah, it's what you like, whatever you like. You have to feel comfortable with that.
So this one.
Perfect. Pavel, next, please raise your arm in that position and make your right hand to fist.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm gonna try at 3 or after 3. I'm gonna try to press your arm down. Okay? You counter. Your task is to press your arm up. Okay? And then see what will happen. You're ready, Pavel. At 3, we start. 1, 2, and 3. Oi. Whoa, that's respect. There's a, no, it's no. That was quite strong.
Thank you very much.
But, Pavel, we have almost half of the exercise. We continue, and please look carefully what I'm gonna do now. Really, really excited. Okay, Pavel. Nothing happened. We're gonna do the same exercise again. The same position with a strong, comfortable grounding. Your right arm in that position. And your right hand to a fist. We make the same exercise again. You are ready, Pavel, at 3. 1, 2, and 3. What's going on?
Much harder.
Much harder. What was the difference between the first time, the second time? What would you say spontaneously?
First, technique.
Really? Was it different technique?
No, to be honest, I don't see it directly, but it could be.
Okay.
I mean, technique is very important. The other option is, of course, state of mind, which is very important as well.
Okay. Would you agree with me when I say that you were more focused on the first time compared to the second? Can we say that?
Yes.
Would you also agree when I say that you were more distracted on the second time compared to the first?
Yes. Although, of course, after training, I'm a little bit knowing to focus still.
Okay.
Which could maybe have a higher effect on other person. Yeah. But I kind of knew that I need to keep focused. So maybe I was opposing your exercise a little bit. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, there was a difference.
It was, definitely. Pavel, thank you very, very much for your courage.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. It's your applause. And
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Congratulations to you.
No, thanks.
Thank you very much.
It's your applause. And this exercise, I make it actually a lot of times when I work with the managers or in companies. And the important point is where our thoughts are, where our focus are, that's where our energy is. And we can think just one thought at the same time. One thought at the same time. The question is, what is your current thought? What you're thinking at the moment? Where is your focus at the moment? Are there people from South America here today? Oh. Brazil? Yeah? Wow. That's the next challenge, the next adventure. We are leaving the stairs in Germany, in Radebeul. We're traveling to South America, we're traveling to Brazil, we're traveling to the Amazon rainforest of Brazil.
Mein nächster Gast ist ein Extremsportler, ein Motivator. Manche sagen auch, er sei ein Verrückter. Dies ist der Start zu einem langen Lauf zum Dschungelmarathon in Brasilien. Die Läufer haben viel Gepäck mit, 13 Kilo trägt jeder und unterwegs sind sie 5 Tage, wenn sie durchhalten. An 5 Tagen insgesamt 222 Kilometer. Und natürlich kann man da schon mal hinfallen und muss das eine oder andere Hindernis auch überwinden. Nicht ganz ungefährlich sind die Tierchen, die man unterwegs sieht, bis hin zur Vogelspinne, aber ein ordentlicher Läufer lässt sich durch nichts abhalten. Mein Gast, den ich Ihnen gleich vorstelle, war hier dabei. Herzlich willkommen, Norman Bücher.
Here, this short movie was about the jungle marathon in Brazil. One of the most dangerous adventure races in the world, and it stretches a total of 222 kilometers in 6 stages through the dense Amazon rainforest. And especially the external environment made this race extremely difficult. In the shade, temperature was about 38 to 40 degrees with almost 100% humidity. It was a tough race, not like a normal running race. You have to swim, you have to climb at some parts. And it starts with a really short stage, about 17 kilometers. But for 17 kilometers, I needed more than 5 hours. But right at the beginning, that changes some things for me. My health condition, especially. I got sick, and by the end of the second race day, I felt very, very weak and limp. So that was the picture. I finished the second stage and sat to the ground. For me, I had no clue what's going on for the next couple of days. What you want to do. What you want to do when certain basic conditions radically change. You plan a project, you plan such an adventure, you plan everything. And then some parts changed. What can you do in such a situation? You have basically 2 options, right? Yeah, you can say, of course, I want to increase my efforts. I run through the race with all my willpower, at the expense of my health, of course. Or option number 2, yeah, that's it. You can be sensible in this case and give up. I chose the second option. Give up. And believe me, it was tough. It was one of my hardest decisions in my life so far, and really, really, really tough. You must consider I have put so much effort in this race. I invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, of course a lot of money into this project. And then, after only 2 days, after only 40 kilometers, this race was over for me. That's how it is into my world, the world of an extreme runner. How is it for you at Bosch? Does everything at your job always run smoothly? Do you always get satisfied customers on the phone? Okay. I feel and see your reaction. I think we all in the room experience setbacks and failures, right? Let us take a simple example. Children Who here has children? Okay. I'm very proud to have a little daughter, Marla. She's 8 years now, and approx 7 years ago, it was really interesting as a father to watch how she took her first steps by her own. She grabbed a hold of something. I think as a father or a mother, you know that, like a table to pull herself up. She took one step and then fell to the ground. But she did not give up. She pulled herself up again, took a step, this time maybe another step, and landed on the floor again. I guess this is a really, really good metaphor for all of us. We fail, we get up, we continue to develop. It's not important to fail. This one is not important. I think you know that. That's not important. It's only important to get up again, to continue racing, to continue in a long project. I applied the so-called CNF principle. CNF is not a new TV channel. CNF stands for Collapse, New Start, Fast. Collapse, New Start, Fast. And I think at Bosch you probably won't run through a desert or through the jungle in Brazil. I think that's not the point. But you have some adventurous project, complex, long, with a lot of ramifications, that's quite similar to such a project. CNF. One last point, one last story at the end. And it's the best story at the end. Who here is interested in a little challenge close to the end? A small challenge at the end. Oh. Who here can imagine a special outdoor holiday? Who wants to make a holiday? Oh, okay. It's really interesting. The word holiday always pulls. It's fantastic. And everybody who has raised his arm, imagine you want to go with me for 1 week in the desert. We're going not in some desert. We go to the Kalahari Desert in South Africa. Wow! Maybe someone is saying, Kalahari Desert, I always wanted to go there. Right? Some people agree. Kalahari Desert means really impressive and fantastic landscape. Kalahari also means experiencing the big five: lion, leopard, buffalo, rhino, and elephant. This sounds maybe interesting to some of you, but 1 week in the desert means no shower, no bed, no cell phone, no laptop, no cake, no Coke, no comfort. The only thing you get is water, food from the back, and a tent for sleeping. Who want to still join me? Oh, okay, fantastic. Why I'm telling this? These are the conditions for a really, really special adventure. The Kalahari Extreme Marathon in South Africa.
Sandy and the Sanger.
I'm looking forward to the end.
Anytime, sit down. Beer and ice cream.
I don't run with time or with ranking. I want to enjoy. But today I really, like almost like a flow. If you run, you run, you run. You don't think about it, any other things. I'm just speechless. It's awesome race.
Awesome race. Kalahari Extreme Marathon in South Africa. One of the most challenging desert race on earth. You're running 250 kilometers in 6 stages through the southern part of the Kalahari. The special challenge, you have to carry all the things for 1 week by yourself. All the equipment, your clothes, your food, your sleeping bag, everything what you need for 1 week desert you have to carry in your backpack on your shoulders. And we're talking about 12 to 13 kg of weight. Another highlight is the people. 45 different personalities are there, really people from all over the world. Germany, Australia, South Africa, Norway, China, Mexico, Turkey. Really interesting. And among them, there was a young man I already noticed at the very beginning of the race because he was very, very different to the other runners. Kian of Singapore. Is there someone here from Singapore? Kian of Singapore, 34 years old, father of 2 children, and is a funny guy. When I first saw him, all the runners arrived in Johannesburg. We had one last night in a hotel in a comfortable bed, and I went to the double room and I met him. And when I first him like here, like at that picture, I was thinking to myself, what are you doing here? What is he doing here? This is one of the toughest desert races in the world. And there was really a colossus of a man ahead of me, like a sumo wrestler. And yeah, we're packing our backpack for the race, and Kian are really talk about proudly that he has lost already 20 kg of weight before the race. At the moment, his current weight is only 105 kg. And I was a bit surprised, and I asked him, Kian, how many marathons have you run so far? And Kian was really surprised about that question. And he answered me, marathon? What do you mean? I have not made one single marathon yet. Not any marathon. My longest distance was over 10 kilometers. And I was thinking to myself, this is a really good base for such an extreme run, right? Right? Yesterday 10 Ks, tomorrow already 250 Ks. Respect. But Kian, I don't know about you, but Kian made me curious. I wanted to know from him how he even came up with the idea to start here in this race. And he said to me, Norman, it's quite easy. My boss is a really enthusiastic runner. He invited me and 3 more colleagues to this race. Yeah. he sponsored everything. He sponsored the flights, the equipment, the starting fees. He sponsored everything. Maybe for you at Bosch as an incentive for next year. I don't know. I can really recommend this race. It's a fantastic event. But I think you feel it in the beginning of the story. Nothing fits together. For me, it was a really completely hopeless undertaking. And between our runners, we already bet, when Kian will quit the race, like on the first stage or maybe the second day. For us, there was no chance for him to finish the whole race. One day later, from Johannesburg, we took a bus to the starting line at the beginning of the desert. And the first stage was about 30 kilometers, like a warm-up, 40 degrees outside temperature, really hot day, glowing sun, sandy track. All the runners finished this first stage. And later, much later to all the other runners, Kian arrived. He was a bit tired, but still in a good mood. Made his jokes and was in a really good mood. But we still had over 222 kilometers ahead of us. Then day 2, 38 kilometers, 45 degrees Celsius outside temperature. Right at the beginning, there was a steep climb. 5 runners would quit the race today. But not Kian. Not Kian. He still finished the day, the second day, after more than 11 hours. 11 hours for 38 kilometers. I think every hiker would have been faster, but Kian made it again. Stage 3 was a shorter stage, about 30 Ks. He also mastered this third stage, and then day 4 was coming. Day 4 was the traditional, notorious overnight stage. That means 79 kilometers of non-stop running. 79 kilometers through deep sand, through the merciless heat, and especially through the darkness. Today, the chaff will be separated from the wheat. And you must imagine, after 15, 16 hours, all the runners were at the camp. A few runners give up. Only one runner was missing. Kian. Then came the night. No trace of Kian. At another day, the sun rose up again. Still, no trace of Kian. Honestly, we runners, we didn't believe in Kian that he want to do that. We were lying in our camp and we are already waiting for the next stage. And suddenly, they're coming up a small black point in the far horizon. This small black point became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then we recognized, wow, that's Kian. He's coming. He was not running anymore. It's like that, really small, slowly. But he arrived at the camp. He finished this overnight stage over 79 kilometers. 27 hours, completely done, but he did it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kian of Singapore has successfully completed the entire Kalahari Extreme Marathon. Despite enormous overweight, against all predictions and against any real chance. Unbelievable 73 hours and 10 minutes he ran. And he made it. Thanks. And maybe you are asking, how did he do that? Or even more important, why did he do that? That was my question I had in mind over the whole week in the desert. Why is a man motivated to do such a race? And imagine, after 1 week of racing, we coming back to the civilization, had a proper, comfortable bed, a shower, new clothes, and in the evening, there was a presentation ceremony. We were sitting together, delicious food, a wonderful atmosphere, and next to me were sitting Kian. And I asked him this question, Kian, honestly, why did you run here? You're not a typical runner. What was his answer? He said to me with a wide grin and with shining eyes, he said to me, Norman, I run here for the social project, for the orphanages, for the children in Singapore. That's why I run here. My boss donated 10 euros for every kilometer I run. I always knew when I'm feeling weak why I run here. And this response impressed me. I guess this response we can apply to different parts of life, right? For success, in sports, in business, in an IT project, in private life, for success, I think we must basically ask us one question. Basically one question. And this question is, why? Why? Why you are here today? Why you are working for Bosch? Why you get up every morning? We must be able to answer the question of why. Because only motives give meaning to our goals. Only motives give meaning to our goals. That's what I learned from Kian, from the Kalahari Desert, from South Africa. And I want to finish the speech with a quote, one of my favorite quotes. And this quote represents all my philosophy in one sentence. And the sentence is, the limit is where the human imagination ends. Thank you so much to be here. Thanks a lot.